There is a reason your heart has felt unusually sensitive lately, as if something unseen keeps brushing against your spirit when the world becomes quiet. Even now, while you are listening to these words, a connection is deepening somewhere beyond your awareness. Not through dramatic signs, not through chaos, but through small emotional moments that are slowly becoming impossible for your soulmate to ignore. They thought they had more time to hide their feelings. They thought they could continue acting normal, continue keeping their emotions safely locked behind distractions and routines. But something changed. Suddenly, ordinary moments began carrying your presence inside them. A random memory during a busy afternoon. A smile that appeared without explanation. A feeling of warmth when your name crossed their mind. And the more these moments repeated, the more they realized this connection was becoming real in a way they never planned for. Don't skip this moment, because what they are preparing emotionally could soften a part of you that has been tired for a very long time. Your soulmate has started imagining a future differently now. Not louder. Not bigger. Just more meaningful. They are beginning to understand that love is not always found in grand moments, sometimes it is hidden inside the quiet comfort of finally feeling understood. And every time they picture peace, your energy somehow appears beside it. That realization surprised them deeply. Because for the first time in a long while, their hearts stopped searching for temporary excitement and started longing for something genuine. Something lasting. Something emotionally safe. And slowly, without even realizing it, they began moving closer to you internally before taking any visible step outwardly. Stay till the end, because something important is waiting for you in the next layer of this story. There is good news forming around you right now, but it is arriving gently so it can be fully felt when it reaches you. Your soulmate is no longer trying to deny the emotional pull they feel toward you. In fact, they have started protecting the connection in quiet ways you cannot yet see. Thinking carefully before speaking. Reflecting before making decisions. Wondering how certain moments would affect you emotionally. That level of care did not happen overnight. It grew slowly. And now it has become something they carry with them constantly. What touches them most is the way you continue being kind even after difficult seasons. The way you still carry softness despite everything that tried to make you emotionally distant. They notice your patience. Your hidden strength. Your ability to make people feel comfortable without even trying. And somewhere deep inside, your soulmate has started realizing they do not want to lose the chance to be closer to someone like you. There is also a sentence they keep replaying silently in their mind, words they want to tell you but have not found the courage to say yet. Maybe it begins with honesty. Maybe with apology. Maybe with affection they can no longer contain. But whatever those words become, they carry sincerity within them. Real emotion. Real intention. And when the moment finally arrives, you will feel the difference immediately because it will not sound forced, it will sound true. Something beautiful is approaching your life quietly now. A shift in energy. A soft emotional opening. A surprise filled with warmth instead of confusion. And while the full picture has not appeared yet, your soulmate is already standing at the edge of an important emotional decision. Because recently, they realized there is one feeling they cannot escape anymore no matter how hard they try. The feeling that somehow, in a world full of temporary connections, you began feeling like home. There is a moment approaching so quietly that most people would miss it completely, but your soul has already started sensing it before your mind can fully understand why. Somewhere tonight, your soulmate is sitting with thoughts that feel heavier and more meaningful than usual. They are replaying memories they once brushed aside too quickly. Tiny conversations. Small gestures. The comforting energy you carried without even realizing it. And suddenly, those moments no longer feel ordinary to them. They feel important. They feel connected to something deeper they cannot explain away anymore. Your soulmate has started noticing how different life feels whenever thoughts of you appear. The world around them slows down for a second. Their guarded emotions soften. Even their fears become quieter. And this realization caught them completely by surprise because they were not expecting one person to affect their inner world this strongly. Don't skip this part, because the emotional shift happening inside them is becoming impossible to hide now. There was a recent evening when they almost reached out to you impulsively. Not because they were lonely, but because your presence suddenly felt necessary to them. Necessary in the gentlest way. Like comfort after emotional exhaustion. Like warmth after carrying too much silently. They stopped themselves at the last moment, but the feeling never disappeared. In fact, it grew stronger afterward. That is when they finally understood this connection was changing them from within. Stay till the end, because something important is waiting for you inside the silence between these moments. Your soulmate is beginning to crave honesty more than emotional distance now. They are tired of pretending certain feelings do not exist. Tired of acting unaffected when your energy continues finding its way back into their thoughts day after day. And what surprises them most is not just attraction, it is the emotional safety they feel when imagining you beside them. They picture peaceful mornings, meaningful conversations, quiet support during difficult days. The kind of connection that feels calm instead of complicated. That image keeps returning to them over and over again. Until they can no longer ignore what their heart is trying to say. Something beautiful is unfolding behind the scenes right now. Your soulmate has started making emotional space for you in ways they never expected. They are reflecting more deeply before making choices. They are becoming more open to vulnerability. More willing to trust what they feel instead of running from it. And the good news approaching you carries that energy within it, sincerity, warmth, and emotional truth. This surprise will not feel rushed when it arrives. It will feel natural. Like something your heart quietly waited for during lonely moments when nobody understood what you were carrying emotionally. Your soulmate also wants you to know something they have not admitted aloud yet. They admire the way you continue shining softly without demanding attention from the world. They admire your resilience, your compassion, the hidden depth inside your silence. These are the things that stayed with them when everything else faded away. And now, those feelings are guiding them toward a realization that grows stronger each day. They do not want to keep watching your connection from a distance anymore. But there is still one final emotional wall standing between them and the truth they are preparing to reveal. And the moment that wall finally breaks, the surprise they have been holding inside their heart may reach you sooner than either of you expected. A quiet transformation has already begun inside your soulmate, and the strange part is, they did not even notice it happening at first. It was hidden inside small changes. The way they suddenly became more thoughtful late at night. The way certain songs started reminding them of emotions they could not explain. The way your presence entered their thoughts during moments that had nothing to do with love, and somehow stayed there long after. They are beginning to understand that this connection is no longer something temporary passing through their life. It has rooted itself much deeper than that. And now, every attempt to ignore it only brings them closer to the truth they have been avoiding. Don't skip this moment, because the feeling growing inside them is preparing to change the energy between you completely. Recently, your soulmate caught themselves imagining your reaction to something beautiful happening in their life before imagining anyone else's. That realization stopped them in silence. Because it revealed something they were not fully ready to admit, your happiness has started mattering to them personally. Deeply. Genuinely. They care about how you feel more than they expected to. They wonder if you are resting enough. If you are smiling honestly. If someone is appreciating your heart the way it deserves to be appreciated. These thoughts have become natural to them now, and that emotional closeness is what scares and comforts them at the same time. Stay till the end, because something important is waiting for you behind the emotions they still cannot fully express aloud. Your soulmate has started revisiting old fears quietly in their mind. Not to stay trapped inside them, but to understand why they kept themselves emotionally distant for so long. And the more they reflect, the more they realize something surprising. It was never that they stopped believing in love completely. They simply stopped believing they would find someone who felt emotionally safe enough to trust. Then your energy entered their world softly, without pressure, without force, and slowly began changing the way they look at connection itself. That is why the good news approaching you carries so much emotional weight behind it. It is not just about words. It is about someone finally becoming brave enough to stop hiding what they feel. There is also a growing sense of urgency inside your soulmate lately. Not panic, not fear, but clarity. The kind of clarity that arrives when someone realizes they do not want to lose a meaningful connection simply because they waited too long to be honest. They are beginning to understand that certain people only appear once in a lifetime, and when they think about that possibility, their heart keeps leading them back to you. Something beautiful is being prepared quietly now. A moment filled with sincerity. A conversation carrying emotional truth. A surprise that melts away uncertainty instead of creating it. And what makes it even more meaningful is this: your soulmate no longer wants a connection built on confusion or mixed emotions. They want something real. Something emotionally peaceful. Something that feels like coming home after wandering too far for too long. But here is the part they have not shared with anyone yet: there is one specific memory involving you that continues replaying in their heart stronger than every other moment combined. One memory that made them realize they were already falling emotionally long before they admitted it to themselves. And once they finally understand why that memory still affects them so deeply, they may stop holding back entirely. There is a softness entering your soulmate's heart now that was not there before, a quiet tenderness that keeps appearing whenever they think about you for too long. At first, they tried to dismiss it as emotion passing through the moment. But now they understand it differently. This feeling stays. It follows them into ordinary days. Into crowded places. Into silent nights where everything around them slows down enough for the truth to finally become impossible to avoid. And the truth is simple: you have become emotionally important to them in ways they never expected. Not because you demanded attention. Not because you chased them emotionally. But because your presence brought them something they secretly needed for a very long time: peace. Don't skip this part. Because the surprise approaching your life is carrying more sincerity than you realize. Your soulmate has started imagining what it would feel like to stop hiding completely. To finally speak openly without filtering every emotion out of fear. And strangely, every future they picture with emotional safety inside it somehow includes you standing there beside them. That realization has changed them quietly from within. They are becoming more emotionally honest. More willing to trust connection again. More open to the idea that love does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives gently and slowly melts every wall a person spent years building around their heart. Stay till the end, because something important is waiting for you inside the next emotional step they are preparing to take. Recently, your soulmate experienced a moment that affected them deeply without warning. Maybe it was hearing something that reminded them of you. Maybe it was watching other people pretend to be happy while realizing the only connection that truly felt meaningful kept leading back to your energy. Whatever the moment was, it stayed with them long after it ended. And during that silence, they finally admitted something to themselves they had been avoiding for too long: losing the chance to be closer to you would hurt more than they expected. That realization changed everything. Since then, your soulmate has started carrying you differently in their heart. More carefully. More intentionally. They think about how they speak to you. How they appear emotionally around you. How even small moments with you affect their mood afterward. These are not random emotions anymore. They are becoming choices. Real emotional choices guided by genuine affection and growing attachment. Something beautiful is unfolding behind the scenes now. The good news approaching you is filled with emotional warmth because it comes from a place of honesty that took time to develop. Your soulmate no longer wants shallow connection. They no longer want conversations without meaning or feelings without depth. They want something real enough to last beyond temporary emotions. And somewhere deep inside, they are beginning to believe you may be the person capable of giving them that feeling. There is also something they want to confess eventually. Something they keep rehearsing silently when nobody else is around. They want to tell you how often you cross their mind unexpectedly. How your energy became part of their emotional comfort without them realizing it. How certain parts of life started feeling incomplete whenever you felt emotionally distant from them. These thoughts are becoming impossible for them to ignore now. And the closer they move toward emotional honesty, the more the connection between you begins pulling them forward naturally. But there is still one final realization waiting for them. One deeply emotional truth they have only touched briefly before pulling away again. And when they finally stop resisting that truth completely, the surprise they bring into your life may feel even more beautiful than you imagined. Something has become unmistakably clear to your soulmate now. No matter how far they try to drift into distractions, their heart keeps returning to you with the same quiet certainty every single time. It happens in the middle of ordinary moments. During late-night thoughts when the world becomes still. During busy days when they suddenly pause without understanding why. Your energy reaches them in ways logic cannot fully explain, and the deeper they look into that feeling, the more they realize this connection is changing them gently from the inside out. They are no longer asking themselves whether you matter to them. That question already has an answer. What they are asking now is something far more emotional. how long can they continue hiding feelings that already feel real? Don't skip this moment, because the emotional breakthrough they are approaching could melt years of hesitation away all at once. Your soulmate has started noticing that every future they imagine without you feels strangely incomplete now. Not dramatic. Not empty. Just missing something meaningful. And that realization has stayed heavy on their heart lately. They are beginning to understand that some people enter your life to teach lessons, but others arrive to change the way your soul experiences love itself. That is what scares them sometimes. Because your connection feels deeper than attraction. It feels emotionally significant. The kind of bond that quietly reshapes a person's inner world before they even realize it is happening. Stay till the end. Because something important is waiting for you inside the next decision they are preparing to make. Recently, your soulmate found themselves smiling while thinking about a future conversation with you, a real one. Honest. Open. Unfiltered. They imagined finally telling you how much your presence has affected them emotionally. How your kindness stayed with them longer than expected. How your calm energy became something they searched for during difficult moments. And for the first time, instead of fear, they felt relief imagining that honesty. Relief that maybe they no longer need to carry these emotions alone in silence. Something beautiful is preparing to enter your life now. Not rushed. Not chaotic. But meaningful in a way your heart will recognize immediately. The good news approaching you carries emotional sincerity behind it because your soulmate has finally stopped trying to convince themselves that these feelings will disappear. They know now that what they feel for you has only grown stronger with time. That is why they are becoming more intentional. More emotionally present. More willing to risk vulnerability for the possibility of something genuine. And there is another truth they are slowly accepting: you have already become part of their emotional peace. When life feels overwhelming, thoughts of you calm them. When their heart feels uncertain, your energy brings clarity. They may not fully understand how it happened, but somewhere along the way, you became the person they instinctively turned toward emotionally, even in silence. That realization alone has changed the direction of their heart completely. Soon, the distance between hidden feelings and spoken truth will begin shrinking faster than before. Small signs will become clearer. Emotional walls will soften. Conversations will carry more honesty inside them. And when your soulmate finally reveals the surprise they have been carrying carefully in their heart, you will understand why this connection kept pulling you back toward hope even during your quietest moments. Because what is coming is not built on temporary emotion, it is being shaped slowly, carefully, and sincerely by two hearts that were always moving toward each other, even before either of them fully realized it. There is a quiet kind of happiness beginning to grow inside your soulmate now, the kind people try to hide because it feels too precious to explain out loud. They are carrying your energy differently these days. More gently. More carefully. As if even thinking about you has become something meaningful to protect. And what surprises them most is how natural it feels. They are no longer forcing themselves to remember you. Your presence simply arrives on its own, slipping into their thoughts during the calmest parts of the day. A certain laugh reminds them of you. A peaceful moment suddenly feels incomplete without imagining you there beside them. Even silence has started feeling softer whenever your memory enters their heart. Don't skip this part, because the emotional surprise forming around you is becoming stronger with every passing day. Your soulmate has begun realizing that the connection between you was never built on surface feelings alone. It grew through emotional recognition, through unspoken understanding, through the strange comfort of feeling emotionally seen by someone without needing to explain every hidden part of yourself. That realization changed something inside them permanently. Because for the first time in a very long while, they stopped wondering whether real emotional closeness still existed for them, and started wondering if they were finally standing near it. Stay till the end, because something important is waiting for you inside the next truth they are preparing to accept. Recently, your soulmate experienced a moment where they almost spoke their feelings openly without planning to. Your name came into a conversation unexpectedly, and the softness in their voice revealed more than they intended. They noticed it immediately afterward. The warmth, the attachment, the way their entire energy changed just by speaking about you. That moment stayed with them long after it ended. Because it forced them to confront something they could no longer deny: you are becoming emotionally woven into their life in a way that feels deeper every single day. And now, instead of resisting that truth, they are beginning to lean into it. Slowly, carefully, but honestly. Something beautiful is unfolding behind the scenes now. Your soulmate is emotionally preparing themselves to give more instead of hiding more. They are becoming braver with their feelings, more willing to risk vulnerability if it means creating something real with you. The good news approaching your heart carries that sincerity within it. This is not about perfect words or dramatic gestures. It is about emotional truth finally becoming too meaningful to stay hidden any longer. Your soulmate has also started imagining what your reaction might look like when they finally reveal how much you truly mean to them. That thought alone makes their heart race with both nervousness and excitement. Because deep down, they know this connection has already changed them. They are softer now, more emotionally open, more hopeful about love than they were before you entered their world. And perhaps the most beautiful part of all is this: they are beginning to understand that you never asked them to become someone else in order to be loved. You simply made them feel safe enough to become more of who they truly are. That feeling is rare. Rare enough to protect. Rare enough to fight for emotionally. Rare enough to stop running from. But there is still one final moment approaching quietly between you, one conversation, one confession, one emotional opening that could transform everything you thought this connection was becoming. And when that moment finally arrives, your soulmate may reveal something they have been carrying silently in their heart from the very beginning: that loving you never felt confusing to them, only deeply real.